friends, and here we are again. Okay, we sort of projected a little bit that we were going to do a segment on casual conversations, and there goes another casual conversation, because this is pretty casual. And unfortunately, as you know, we are going to revert 100% virtual, because that's what it calls for it. And it is times that, or I should say, in these times, I'm a little bit emotional. By the way, this is pretty emotional what goes on here today, because it's a lot going on. Okay, it's really a lot going on. Not even the opportunity to get a decent haircut. Look at this, look at that, all over the place. But we are home and we're doing whatever we can from here. The objective is to maintain communication with the ones that are following the project, and it's been excited from this end to be able to see. Well, many of you are really getting connected to what this project became. If you had the opportunity to see our welcome video that we did initially, when was that again? March, I think it is.
Yes.
No concept of time with all this stuff that is happening. Of course, Sonia, she's sitting here with me, and it is a particular reason why she's here, because that's how we push this thing. How the energy came together. You hear a lot of me talking about that, the energy. But that's what moves me. You're probably wondering also why we have a special guest here at the table. Okay, the bear. Interesting that he's going to be following us with this project too, because he's been following many of my projects throughout my life. You have no idea the experience that this little bear has, and how international this guy is as well. Okay, so he's been traveling a lot, but some other time maybe I will share that with you, the story of the bear. And today, it was just as I was putting this thing together, I bumped into him, and decided it has no name, just called Little Bear. Okay, that's all it is. No labels on it. There's no need for it. But I shared this bear with some people that were in trouble, believe it or not, and I told them that it was a very powerful bear, and with that belief, they got better, and they felt that they had company. They were never alone. Okay, so. You saw some of my posts also with that I comment, the power of belief. And for the ones that do believe, maybe you've been following and understanding certain things that I post. Also on that note, I am going to say that I share. That's what I do. Okay, it comes to me, some things, I'm just a regular guy. Maybe some different experiences in my trip than you've been. We all have different experiences, but I am just a resident here in Wynmoor, because that's where I live. Okay, so and on that, I just wanted to say, things come to me, inspiration, whatever that is. I don't question. I just take it. My balcony. You're very familiar with my balcony, so. I take it. Some things are for me, personally. You're not going to hear it. They are for me. But some other stuff, I feel that they might be great to share. And throughout my life, that's what I've been doing. I like to share. And it's my nature, and for that, I continue with this project. Let's call it a project, okay? I don't want you to think also that it is my project, that that no one else has access to it or something like that. It is a way that I do in order to sort of control, in a way, not control, let me take that back, to keep the arrangement of the page. You seem like you're familiar with that term, page. Keep it organized, okay, and not all over the place. I've been getting also some posts, okay, and they over posting, one person over posts, not good. I'm trying to release some posts, okay, but trying to keep that organized. But you're more than welcome to suggest a post, send a post, comment. I noticed that it's been a little difficult for some to identify the index of the page, but folks, it's on top, okay? Where do you have the options, okay? Announcements, photos. Just go to the right, it's a section there that says albums. Click on that and you're going to be surprised how much information is there. Find your album, find the thing you relate to, spend a little time with it. Simple as that, okay? Simple as that. I find that at this particular point in time, which I've been working extremely hard on that point in time, I try to stay on that. A lot of times you see posts of me that the words go wrong and things go wrong, I misspell things, stuff like that. A difference on a word might make a big difference. I understand that, but the thing is that I do a lot of stuff with my cell. It's an international cell phone, and a lot of times the thing comes up with a translation. And since I work in real time, I finish my thought, put it into that, press send, and that's it. It's over. It's already on the airwaves. I don't add it into later that I go through it. If I need to go through it, and I'm like, I can't believe I just wrote that. So I go back and correct. Or sometimes Sonia just, sends me a text and says, Antonio, the heck is that, man? Fix that. I'm a teacher, okay? I'm a teacher, Come on, let's get that correct. So, just be patient, okay? Be patient. I am on meds. I'm dealing with my own stuff, my own stress, okay? So we all going through our own personal issues. We try to do our best and contribute. Again, like I said before, it's on a welcome video. It's no intentions of competing with anybody. Anybody, let me take that back, I'm sorry. Competing with other existing groups, okay? Or platforms set up by Wynmoor. Wynmoor has a web page, has a Facebook page. They have their own system of blasting emails, the channel 99, correct? Channel 99, the Zoom, okay, all that stuff. So those are all platforms for information, okay? So it's no reason to compete with that. It should be an addition. Should be partnerships if those groups want to maintain a partnership and so on and so on. We are doing this on the fly, okay? On the fly, it's a term that we use in broadcasting, we use in when we do productions. On the fly means that it's no script that I'm reading. I'm talking to you as the energy comes to me, as I feel and I transmit. Again, I like to share and I try to do it on real time. Not the one that is designed to be in front of the camera. This is the first time, actually, folks, that I've been in front of the camera. I don't personally been designed in a way to be a host and be in front of the camera. I'm doing this voluntarily. I prefer to be behind the camera, but with today's technology, I can do some corrections and whatever later. I don't have a cameraman. I don't have a lighting man here. I don't have anything. We are doing this in something that I set up real quick. Okay, so we can share it with you guys. Now, this is my script. One page, highlights, keywords. That's all it is. Okay, Sonia, she's been expanding time with me. We spend a lot of time on the phone. We engage into some really, guys, interesting conversations, and where our conversations sometimes are going into a very interesting dimension. Okay, And that's what it is, okay? Or at least that's what we believe it is. We are mastering. And I'm pausing because I feel it. We are mastering a level of awakening. You want to see my shills? We need to do a close-up. We are mastering a level of awakening, understanding, acknowledge, filter what we're receiving. What we receiving. Okay? So, like I said before, some things we receive to be shared, some things we receive for our own selves. This past couple of days, you've been seeing some of my posts talking about space. Your space. My space. If you've been paying attention, which I know that we have some people, I'm not going to mention names, okay, because I don't want to be particular about a certain thing, but we have people that are connected already, deeply connected to what's becoming something very interesting, okay? And they know what I mean by space when I publish it already, okay? So, I've been working on this for years, okay? I've been working on this for years because it's something that I needed to do. That became a quest of mine for years, including going out of the country, okay? So it is a long story, but the quest has been about identifying who I am, my space, my circle, and do everything I can to be in the center of my circle, the center of my space. Because when I am in the center of my space, not somebody else's space, my space. And when I am in the center of my space, that's when I feel great. I feel the peace, I feel the love, I feel like I am in control of everything. Everything. And that's the inner building, if you want to call it that way, of what I have, what I am. Everything else are just props. Everything else are just things that we feel like have. A great apartment, a great car, really nice, great clothing, jewelry, expensive watches, okay? Those are gifts. I'm not against them. Those are gifts, those are rewards. Sometimes for ourselves, for what we do and what we have accomplished. Been there, done that, guys. Been there, done that. Trust me, I'm not wearing a watch because I decided not to. I have them. But it's, to me right now, at a point of my life, in my journey, my trip, sometimes you pick up things like that on my posts. If you really connect to that, no, that's just me. That's what's more important. It's me. Okay? Everything else is part of whatever I have. Okay? So, space. Circles. It's the key word for today. And I am here with Sonia because we okay. And I will talk to you about why we not even have masks doing this. Okay, so we'll clear that issue for you if you like. Okay, and that's it. I don't know if we should talk about that now.
We can.
We can.
Yeah.
But before we go into the
No, let's go into circles.
the
Let's
circles.
go into our circles. And we'll
and
address that
then
later.
we'll address,
Yes.
you know, what we've been doing in order to, when we get together, at the times that we get together, because we've been spending a lot of time virtually lately, what do we do in order to accomplish that, and share with you, so it could be also an option if you like to go that route. Okay, so my space, my circle today is circles. So we will spontaneously, as we feel it, we're going to talk about what do we think about circles. Why all of a sudden in the last 2 weeks or so we've been talking about circles and space, right? Okay, so let's share that. Let's see if maybe somebody else will take something from that.
I, for me, have learned not to let fear sabotage me. And we have learned, some of us, it's been closer to us than others, where we know that, you know, we don't know what the future brings. We don't know, you know, how long we have and so forth. So we need to live in the present. I have found that by me living in the present and trying to embrace my purpose, share with others love and compassion, I feel better. And it doesn't mean that my problems have gone away, because they're actually, some of them, getting worse. I take care of my parents, people that know me in my life. They both have Alzheimer's. It's progressively getting worse.
So sorry.
But I feel...
You have a mission.
I feel better.
It's part of you.
Because okay, so my advice that I've been sharing with people is, no amount of me wallowing in my fear and in my stress about things is going to change the outcome. What will change the outcome is how I manage my thoughts and how I control, for me, my space and my happiness. And I can be in control of that, because it's all how you look at things.
Now you can.
Now I can.
But
It's all
before
how
you
you can. Before I couldn't.
Yeah.
And
it was all about management.
Right.
It was all about management.
I'm about to be thrown into, I'm going to be on,
Yeah, you're doing
whatever we want to call it, the
is-
front line. It's on.
Mhm.
But I have little minds and people that depend on me to be strong, and are going to look to me for support. And so that makes me stronger, because I know I feel happier, even though things are progressing in a downward spiral in many respects.
Right.
I feel happier now than
Me
I
too.
did 6 months ago.
Me too.
So if you can really try to be present. I can say that right now, this moment of this conversation is just this moment and this conversation.
That's why you don't need the script.
I'm not thinking
You don't need the script.
of what I'm doing later, what I'm doing on Tuesday. It's
That's amazing.
becoming present. And that's how you control, when you control your space and you control yourself, being in the center of your space and being present.
That's when you are in the center of your space.
Right.
It's when you're really present.
And you're able to organize your thoughts.
It's difficult.
It's difficult. It's not easy. You've got to take the distractions out. You've got to, we've engaged in using meditation music. I've done certain things in my initial environment. Pink Himalayan salt lamps, things that relax me.
I normally refer to as, if you close your eyes, and imagine yourself with a circle around you, okay? And when you imagine yourself with a circle around you, you also see a space around you. And in that space around you, you have all kinds of things. All kinds of things, people, issues, all that. You actually get to see them all around, okay? And then the key is to manage them. Put them where they belong.
Right.
If you want to keep them, if you don't want to keep them, why are you wasting your time with it? Just waste it. And that's one of the things that throughout my life I collect a lot of stuff. I reach a point that my mind had no more space. I reach a point where I used to have funny conversations and say, I wish I could go into my mind and reformat my mind the same way that you reformat the hard drive on the computer. Or erase certain folders. Okay? So if you have a little experience with computers and stuff, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Because in my mind, you know, so much information that I collect. Experience. It's all memories, flashbacks. They happen all the time. And so what I experienced, it was to be able to manage them. Right? Manage them. Put them in places, okay, that they don't constantly go
Disrupt
around and
your
around,
energy.
disrupt
Right.
and all that stuff. I mean, this is me. You can get a lot of help from videos, from books, from all kinds of things, from people that are more experienced vocally and trained with the certificate on the wall.
Yeah. There are life
So
coaches,
those are the professional ones. Those are the ones that they have, like I said, the certificate on the wall. I don't have that. Not on this. I have other certificates, but not on this. But this is what I feel, which I think it's even more important than reading somebody else's experience on the book. I have sometimes conversations with Sonia, and then things that I said, she associates that to something that she read on the book in another. I mean, I'm not different than anyone else.
Right.
I am a human being like everyone else. Now,
But
something that is huge with this progress, how you move up on levels of waking.
Right.
Okay? And that helps to organize the circle. And I've been taking the time since I've been getting signs from elements that I believe that I should believe, the power of belief, okay? And follow those signs, learn from those signs, focus on those signs, and that's been helping me to organize my space, my circle. My circle needs to be organized, needs to be good in order for me to out at that moment, because you organize the circle, but don't expect to be in the center of that circle all the time. Because it's times that you're forced to get out of the circle. Go and help a friend, not get out of the circle. Go and help a friend, because if it's a friend, it should be in your circle. You gotta understand this part. Your circle could be small, or it could be, the radius could be a little bit bigger. So, if it is a friend, it's in your circle. But how close it is to the center is how good that friend is to you.
Right, and what
You know?
happens is sometimes I find, by the very nature, people that are giving people that are personable with others and so forth, you know, I used to fall into the problem of wanting to please everybody and be everybody's friend. And I learned throughout this process that no, I'm not going to please everybody. And that not everybody's going to be in my inner circle. And so when you're able to control your space, and you need to be present, you need to get rid of the distractions, internalize, meditate, whatever way you can organize those thoughts, and then you can then be open to listen to others and to help others.
Every time you move, and that happens to me. Every time I move to engage with somebody, not necessarily just to help, engage with somebody, I'm off my center. I'm no longer in the center. I don't feel like I'm in the center.
Right.
And I become vulnerable as
Right.
well.
Right.
Okay? Because I'm not in the center anymore. It's not just me. Okay?
Right.
And that's fine.
And that's fine.
And
You just
that's
have
fine.
to learn to
But
come
you
back.
just need to learn to come back. Have
come
those
back.
moments
That's right.
where you're coming back to the center so you can feel yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Go ahead.
Okay. So this particular part, on this page, she puts "I am love."
Put it in front of you a little bit more. There
I
you go.
can listen.
No, this is for kids, right?
Right.
This
I
is for
can
kids.
listen.
We have
and
no
no-
kids here, but it's okay.
I can listen and not say a word. So here you have
Very good.
the depiction of two people. One is talking, the other one's not saying a word. I can be there. Love is being present. So, when you learn to be present, you have a friend that needs your help, that is talking to you. You concentrate on that moment. You're present on that moment. They can feel your love, they can feel your compassion.
They do. If you connect,
And
if you put
these
your thought there, you
times,
connect. Yeah.
we need that.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you that in this community, my personal experience, I've been experiencing that a lot lately. Why? Because we've reached out, certain people have gravitated to each other, and what will happen is you're going to notice, without even planning it, that when you start to organize your thoughts and you start to organize your circle and your space, those people that start to become part of your inner circle will arrive there without you even looking for that. Because you're going to gravitate to each other. That energy is going to connect,
Right.
and all of a sudden now you have, okay, so I think you can see my goosebumps.
You get it.
All of a sudden, you are going to have a group of 12 people that are connecting 13, and they like being part of that circle. They like what's going on, what's being said, how we're taking care of each other, how we're there for each other, and you're going to become a circle. It just starts to happen.
Starting to build a community.
And so, you're going to have a lot of distractions, and you're going to have those posts that he was talking about. It's okay. But many times in our dialogues, he would say to me, but wow, but look at these, you know, how people are tearing this down and and I don't know.
I was
and
one
there
click
were
from
doubts.
killing the project, and you know
Yeah,
that.
there were many
I
doubts.
was one
And I
click.
would say to Antonio, that's not what I see. I know there are a lot of great people in this community.
We have moments that
Right.
that we are. We have moments that we are challenged,
Right,
and everybody knows that.
right.
We have moments that we are challenged, and those challenges can come in many different ways, and they come to challenge us.
Right.
Okay, and you know what I'm talking about when it comes to those challenges. Okay, and it is a constant battle.
Constant.
Okay, it is a constant battle because the bad tries to fight with the good. Remember one thing, good doesn't fight. Good only gives good. That's what good. When you are in the good moment, you share good. You don't fight. You don't approach somebody that needs your help because you're good, and you not approach that person fighting. Okay, you
No.
don't do that. On the other hand, the bad attacks. That's what the bad does, and that's what I mean by challenge. And it comes in many, many different ways, as you
Right.
know. Okay,
And
it
it's
comes
very-
vocal, it comes physical,
And it's very strong.
Hold on one second. So that part, that challenge, it's only one way that I learned how to fight it. Okay, I've been tested, and sometimes I lost it. Okay, I lost it because I enter that energy to fight that energy, with fighting also in the bad sense of it. As a fight, I pull out my swords and I start fighting. But then what I learned, and by experience, is if I expose that with good, guess what? No chance. They can't fight me anymore. If I put myself in a position that I own my space, it is my space, it is my life, I don't have to accept that challenge, guess what? I can easily walk away from that. Easy walk away. Sometimes we can present it, no, wait a second. You bring in me, you pull out a gun, and I'll pull out a flower. Okay? Now, depends on the action of the other person, I might get shot. Why? Because he was already determined that was going to shoot me, no matter what. Okay? But chances are that if I pull out a flower with the power of owning my space, the universe will probably come with everything it's got to transform that person in a way to put his gun away, because you will not be able to deal with my action. And he will walk away. Now, hey, my work might not work. But I have situations where emotionally, I put myself in the position, sometimes respond, sometimes don't respond, but the objective is to respond with good. And I did that already, and guess what? Shut down right there. It was no more blah, 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 no more action. The action was killed. And why? Because the person on the other side, or the action on the other side, cannot enter my space, trying to invade it, but it was kicked out without going all over the place. I don't know, I just felt like sharing that moment because it was a pretty kind of moment. If I interrupt, Sonia, go ahead. Go.
And sometimes maybe we lose connection with certain individuals or certain groups, and you know, now they're no longer part of your space. And in the past, I would mourn that, you know, it would create sadness for me. Not now. Because what you start to see, I have started to see for myself, is that they're not meant to be in my inner circle, in my inner space. They're not meant to be.
Sometimes we kind of welcome them in certain ways, but really they don't belong. They don't belong
there. And this is the thing.
They don't
sometimes our insecurities, right, and our lack of self-esteem, in many cases, you think to yourself, my gosh, if I had been this, or I had been that, or...
Sometimes when we feel that we have no self-esteem, what was the other word that you just said? Self-esteem and what?
Insecurities.
Insecurities. And all this stuff. Guess what? Message is, it's because we do not know ourselves. We haven't been awakened. Sometimes it's things knocking on your door, and when I say things knocking on your door, it's your thoughts, your energy that you feel, okay? Sometimes like 11:11, and I've been posting this lately, those are signs to indicate that wake up, time of change, okay? It's now. And we need to pay attention to those thoughts, because that's how we grow. That's how we learn. And I've been experienced that, guys. Might find me strange, posts and stuff like that. Find me strange, okay? Or whatever you want. But this is what I've been going through. I ask you for just your friendship and respect for what I'm going through. You can support me or you can just don't. Okay? It is a free site. It is America's still free in certain things. So please, trying to understand the voyage that I'm in and why I do certain things. And if you don't understand, that's what we're doing this, trying to clear in communication. We like to share. The start of the awakening process to me, and I'm going to share my experience. I'm sure you hear this about all over the place, but I'm sharing my experience. The awakening process to me was when things were not going well. I was fighting too much. I was fighting to save things and things that they were not really that important. They were just not that important. I thought they were, but they were not. And lots of times, in many situations, they were actually materialistic things. Materialistic things. Okay? And they were, in a way, kind of distracting me from myself. One of the things that I also experienced during the process of awakening is that I was being too concerned about other people. I wanted to help the world. Truly, I'm not kidding you. You folks don't know my background, but I have a very extensive portfolio. But it is my portfolio, it is my experiences. Some I can share, some not. They're mine. I think the part of awakening, to me, it was more of one-on-one, kind of. Okay? The experience that I had with certain people that they stayed in my heart, and it was one person. And go through that at that particular moment. So, it could be a conversation in the pool with someone. It could be a conversation on the circle. Our circle. The Wynmoor circle. We are in circles today. Okay? Mm-hmm. Circle is the key word for today. So, that situation, it's an improvement, whatever the outcome of our interaction with each other, that becomes a contribution to how well our circle is. In our circle, when you are in the center of that circle, you are in the center of your life. You could have the finest things in the world. You could have the yacht, you could have your jet, you can have everything. But if you're not in the center of your circle, guess what? You're not happy. Just not happy. And that's from my experience. Okay? I decided to say, it's not the time. I don't care about materialistic things as long as I have what I need. And right now, I have more than what I need. Okay? So sometimes also we get challenged with an accident, an illness, something like that. And we need sometimes to accept that as part of the awakening process. Because we're too distracted.
Stop.
We're too distracted. So when we do not pay attention, and we are supposed to do something, guess what? Whatever you try to do, it's just not going to work out. Because you are not in the right direction. Because when you are in the right direction, it will work out. You see the results of that. Because it was an harmony. It was an agreement. Okay? And for that, things just work and flow easy. Okay? That is the energy. That is the good energy. We're supposed to be good. Okay? We all have the same foundation. It's not one person that has more than other. Oh, he's smarter than the other. No, it has nothing to do with that. It's how we develop our own selves to become at the level of understanding maybe what we're supposed to do in this life. My problem, by the way, to the ones, and there's some people that know a little bit about my accident, finally it was identified what was triggering all my issues that I've been going through. And after going through all kinds of things for a while, my issue is cervical, and my issue involves 4 discs due to the impact, and it was a severe impact. The ones that have been supporting me on this, concerned and so on, I use this opportunity to thank you for your support, okay? And it's people like you that pushes me forward sometimes, okay, when I need also that extra energy. We all connected if we want it to be. That energy is amazing. We don't have to see each other, we don't have to touch each other. That energy travels in many different ways. If you notice also in some of the posts, I say silent conversations. You have no idea how many conversations I've been having with Wynmoor from my balcony. And in those silent conversations include some of you. Include some of you. Be great to include everybody, and I do that at times. Okay? I say good morning on some of my posts. I say good morning Wynmoor and friends. Because there's a lot of people on Wynmoor that I don't know them yet as friends. Okay? I know that our posts are reaching high. You don't get to see it on the page, but I do. Okay, from the point of structure and design. So our audience is extremely high, actually, more than I ever expected for this short period of time. Our posts are reaching out very well. Sometimes I put a report up, okay, but we are in the thousands now. Let's put it this way, okay? So, I'm not even going to ask you at this point to participate. I'm not going to ask you. And the reason why not, it's because I share. And I try to share with a good note and a good positive energy, because that's what I try to be. If I am not in the positive energy, you might see me retaliate in certain things that I don't agree. Okay? Retaliation means getting to that post and trying to interfere with that and turn it into something a bit more positive. One of the mistakes that a lot of people, I think many people made, I made them as well. It's thinking that we already know everything, that we are at the top. Okay, guess what? It is a long process, and I admit that. Okay, it's levels of progressing. Okay, it might take your whole life just to tap on number 1. Right. Start on number 1. Okay, and then it could happen really fast. In 5 minutes, you could go from level 1 to level 6. Okay, actually, I posted something on that a couple of weeks ago. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but the levels of awakening, the process of awakening. Right. So, there's a lot of things that I post that I share. Okay, not in the sense of imposing or my views or whatever. No, I just share. You take it the way you want. So if you go on the albums, okay, that's our index. I use Android, and it gives me albums. On Apple,
yes,
you use Apple.
Same thing.
It says albums too, right? So it's simple. Sometimes people have a problem.
Right after you, the picture of our group just underneath, you're gonna see the members, and you can invite people.
Can invite
Right
people
under
if you
that,
like.
they have categories, and you have to scroll to the right, you sweep it with your hand, and you'll see albums. And that's where you'll find them.
I wanted to put the albums as
The first tab.
But
But it
Facebook
doesn't
doesn't
allow-
allow me. I cannot design this better than what it is right now.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the engine is working, so I'm happy with that. Audience is that is reaching the audience, so I'm happy with that. Okay, interacting on now is up to you. Okay, if you want to click, it would be nice. It would be nice that on the posts that you like, you know, give us a like there. Okay, it will be nice. But it's really up to you. It doesn't affect me. Okay, in a way that I'm going to stop because I don't see likes there, I don't see comments there. What it's more important to me is how far do I go with the message? How many people does it reach, that message? And I'm happy with that. The engine is working, okay? So it's good. So now, also, let's wrap this up. There's a lot of things that we could talk about here. I mean, that's what happens with us, okay? Things just flow. Another thing also, when you are in a good space, when your space is good, don't be afraid of that. When your space is good, like I am right now, I'm smiling. You see, space is good, okay? So when the space is good, then things will just come. Oh my God, it's like pow, 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 pow. And it's nice to be in there. You don't want to get out of there. You just wanted to continue in that space. And I'm feeling that right now as I'm doing this, okay? I have moments though. It's like waves. Sometimes I've been sort of, not instructing, I don't want to say instructing Sonia. I've been sharing with Sonia, that's the word, of a lot of times how I operate. Okay? I operate in waves. Waves come. But I gotta have my surfboard ready and polished. Because if the wave comes and I don't have my surfboard, I'm gonna lose that wave and I'm not gonna ride it. And that might be something like, here, prepare yourself. Have your I'm having a difficult time saying that, surfboard. Have your surfboard ready.
Right.
So when the wave comes.
You can ride it.
So that's us. So those waves will come, trust me.
Right.
And you'll transform your life to good.